Welcome to Voice AI. On this page, you'll be able to see dashboards, agent list, inbound and outbound sections. On the upper right hand corner, you have the ability to enable outbound calls as well as create folders for each one of your agents, as well as creating a new agent. In our case, we have a little bit of information on our dashboard and logs for the inbound information. We can choose between the agents that we have inside the account as well as the dates that we want to view. If we click on the total calls, we see 3 total calls. We check on the actions triggered, that's 0, and sentiment looks like it's positive. With the individual calls, we can hover on some of these spikes and see when they were completed. We can see the total duration, average call duration, as well as the agent that was called, the contact name and from number, as well as date and time and duration. On the right-hand side, we can also click into the summary and see information about that phone call. On the right-hand side, we can view the transcript from that call. To the right of that, we can listen to the actual call recording if that was turned on. And we can choose whether or not this was a positive interaction or negative interaction in regards to the agent to help with training. On the right-hand side, we can then click on the 3 dots and we can copy the ID. We also have the ability to filter some of these settings. Scrolling back up to the top, we can click on outbound. This will give us a lot of the same information with just a few more details based on outbound. Switching over to the agent list, we can see the different type of agents in our account. We can edit agents by clicking on one of the agents or multiple, and then we can sort by or delete them. We have a few bulk actions as well. Let's create a new agent. After clicking on Create New Agent, we'll see this new dashboard. Creating a new agent with agent details. We will start with the agent name. It'll have a defaulted name, but you can go and edit that. It'll then pull the business name from your account. You can choose from the language, and of course, the voice. Clicking on the name of the voice, you have several different options. By clicking on some of these icons, you can then listen to each one of the voices to find the one that you like. You can click on like, and you can like them so that you can go back and find the ones that you've liked. You have additional filters here at the top. Once you're happy with the chosen voice by clicking on a particular voice and saving it, you can go and finish the editing process. Below here, you have the time zone. You also have the LLM model that is going to be used in the conversation. You'll be able to see the cost associated. You can then choose the agent's initial message, which will start at the beginning of the conversation. In this case, it'll say, "Hey, you have reached out to demo account. How can I help you?" Over here on the right-hand side, you can also insert additional custom values. Scrolling up, you also have the section that says Advanced Settings. This will pop up a new page. Inside of the Advanced Settings, you have the maximum call time that you can set. You can also idle time and reminder frequency if you want to turn that on. You can set the duration for each one of those. You can also end call after a certain amount of silence. In this case, it's at 15 seconds. Opening up the agent behavior, we have the response speed, which we can choose to be snappy or closer to patient. We can also do the interruption sensitivity to see if it will interrupt or try to jump into the conversation quickly or slowly. Next, you have the LLM temperature, which how creative the AI can be in the conversation. A lower value usually yields better function call results. Below this, you can enable backchanneling, which will allow for some in-conversation affirmations such as, yeah. Next, we have transcription and speech settings. We can choose whether it's fast, accurate, or custom. We can do vocabulary specialization. And you can choose between general and medical. You also have boosted keywords, which will help particular keywords come to the surface in the conversation, and you can add pronunciation in the form of IPA and CMU. Below this, you also have voice settings, which will allow you to remove noise and background speech. You can turn on some background sounds if you want that to be faked in the background of the conversation. This would be coming from the AI agent and their phone call. You can also choose the voice speed, voice temperature, voice volume, and you can choose whether or not the speech normalization is turned on. You also have dynamic voice speed that will vary based on the user's speech rate to hopefully create a more natural conversation. You can also choose to reset to defaults or confirm with you're happy with all your settings. Next, you can go to the agent goals page. Here you have a select few agent goals that you can select. You can choose from one of your knowledge bases. You can also create a new one, and then you can choose when the knowledge base is used by filling in this section. You can also choose particular details to be gathered from the contact during the conversation, and you can trigger a workflow when the call is completed. You can also choose to email notifications to specific users, custom emails, contacts, assigned users, all users, and admins. You also have the ability to switch to advanced mode. Under advanced modes, you can actually edit the particular prompt that is editing this agent. You can also set up your actions by clicking New Action. Here you have several advanced features such as call transfers, trigger a workflow, send SMS, update contact fields, appointment booking, custom actions, and adding MCP. If you do something like a call transfer, you can add additional prompts into this AI agent. You can tell this agent to transfer the phone call from this particular phone number to another phone number if something happens in the phone call that triggers it. For example, if the user wants to talk to a manager, you may want to transfer that call. After that happens, you can do a whisper message with a call summary on the transfer. That way, the person that is receiving this transferred phone call will have an idea of how to start the conversation. Next, you can trigger a workflow. Based on particular steps in the conversation, such as a user agrees to pay for a subscription, then you can trigger a workflow to send over the payment link. Next, you can send a particular SMS when something is asked, such as if the user asks for an invoice or a link to a particular page on a website. Then you could have this trigger to send that URL. You could also update contact fields, either during the call or after the call. You can choose the action name and the particular field to be updated. You can also do appointment booking and choose a particular calendar that is associated. You can choose the offering dates, so how many days will the agent suggest, how many appointment slots, and hours between the slots. You can also choose to suggest multiple calendars. You also have the ability to do custom actions, which will get much more advanced. Last but not least, you also have some add MCP options. Once you have all of your advanced settings set, you can also switch back to basic, and we'll click on next. The agent is now created, and you can choose the phone numbers that are associated with this agent. On the right-hand side, you can also choose a web call or a phone number call to test your agent. You can choose whether or not to enable the AI as a backup to the phone number, or you can set working hours for this agent. Once you're happy, click on Save.